When nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? Well, that's the topic we're going to be discussing here tonight live. So stick around for all of that and much, much more that's coming right. Whoa! Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. So that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I'm here to help as many people as possible that are open to the help get the best possible grips on their life. So that way, each and every one of you can accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. That's what it's all about here on Coach Eli's A Grip on Life channel. Here in my neck of the woods, we like to keep things positive. That's what I'm trying to say. I almost stumbled on my words because I'm so excited. We like to keep things positive here. We like to uplift people. We'd like to make people feel good, right? Do you want to feel good? Would you rather feel good or would you rather feel horrible? Well, the choice is yours, but I choose to live a drama-free life. And if you are tired of living in endless drama, you want to change things up for the better and live a drama-free life, then this is the place to be. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, if you have any friends or family members that you feel would get great value and could use a little uplifting every now and then, please make them aware of the A Grip on Life channel on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook, you can make them aware of my Facebook, but preferably it'd be better to get people over on YouTube. There's much more engagement on the YouTube side of things. But either way, hey, as long as the message gets out, that's all that really matters. All right, welcome to the show, everyone. Before we continue here, let me make sure the notification has gone out, and it looks like the YouTube notification has gone out. Let me check out the back end of YouTube, and it looks like we are rolling smoothly on YouTube. Once again, tonight, we are simulcasting on Facebook. Hey, my good friend, John Dilks. Used to work with him back in the days of high school when we worked at the Hillsdale Cinema in San Mateo, California, and he's asking, how do you make popcorn? Great way to start things, man. How you been, John? It's a great pleasure to reconnect with you. I connected with you through Jeff Caceres. And wow, man, I didn't even know you were on Facebook all this time, but it's such a great pleasure to reconnect with you. And thank you for being here. Feel free to chat as much as you'd like, and I'll be flipping back and forth between the YouTube side of things and the Facebook side of things. So if I don't get to Facebook for a little while, forgive me. I typically get more engagement on the YouTube side of things. Speaking of Facebook, let me make sure that the Facebook stream is rolling well. Check that out on the new iPhone 12 Pro Max side of things and the Facebook side of things. I typically get more engagement on the YouTube side of things. Speaking of Facebook, yeah, it's working. Facebook stream is rolling well. Johnny Dilks is watching with you. Check that out on the new iPhone. I could even bring him on camera. On the Facebook side of things, that is, but it wouldn't go through on the YouTube side. So when I bring people on, I use StreamYard, which works on Facebook and YouTube. Maybe one of these days we'll get some of the Facebook people to pop on a live stream. But tonight, we're going to be discussing another very important topic, and I have some stories to share for you folks. I also know there are some people on the YouTube side of things that reached out to me, and they have some questions to ask regarding this topic, which is why I primarily did it. So if you folks pop around and ask the questions, I will get to them in between the show. But tonight we are discussing, when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? One more time. When nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? Oh, but I forgot one thing, an important thing that helps pay the bills on my YouTube channel. That's my wonderful, great sponsor, Troy Brewer. He's a great longtime friend of mine that runs an amazing marketing company. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network for all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry. Please visit www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. And when you go on that website, you're going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations. And more than likely, one of those talk or music internet radio stations will suit your talk or music genre needs. So please check out www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, that's www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. You can access it from your laptop, your desktop, your iPhone, your Android, or even through your car's Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So check it out. And if you go to those websites and you also find out how to connect with Troy and you connect with him by phone or email, please do not forget to mention that Coach Eli, as always, sends you with lots and lots of love. All right, let's get right to it. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show. Here's how tonight's show is going to go. It's going to be in two parts. The first part is going to be myself sharing some examples and answering questions from people in the chat. So, Moonchild, if you're in the chat and you have any questions, like if you feel like, things are just not going your way, no matter how hard you try, share some of your experiences in the chat, and I'd be happy to dissect them for you. That's going to be the first part of the show. Now, I will be answering questions the entire part of the show, but the first part will be myself sharing a few stories regarding my experiences, for example, purposes. And the second part, I'm going to be going over another incredible blog from one of my favorite websites, lifehack.org. And the title of the blog is called, "When Life is Not Going Your Way, Stop Doing These 10 Things." One more time. When life is not going your way, stop doing these 10 things. So these are going to be 10 tips on what not to do when, things are not going your way. Why? I'll give you a little hint. Because if you keep pushing forward, you're going to eventually get there. For example, my YouTube channel. I've been through the ringer, front and back, left and right, up and down out here on YouTube for the last 4 years between a former channel I used to run and this channel I used to run. I got caught up with drama. I didn't even know the group that I was a part of was a drama group. I guess it kind of turned into a drama group. And while I was a part of that group, I was getting 3 to 4 times the views I'm getting now. And I thought I was growing, but in actuality, I wasn't growing. I was making the drama people, more money and making them rich by feeding into them. And I was killing my regular audience over here. Why? Because I'm not a drama channel. I'm not a drama channel. And when I realized that in order for me to move forward in the right direction, I need to remove all these people, well, what happened to my views? They went down the toilet, right? But were they the right people in the first place? So I had to realize that I was just wondering what's going on. Why is my channel not growing any further? Why am I not making money through this group of people? Why is my business not growing? And when I realized it's just not the right market, I had to let that entire market go and start over. And I've started over, and I've pretty much rebuilt half my former audience that I had before I got involved with the drama. So, that's one example right there regarding something I've experienced, because I put in a lot of time and effort into my coaching business and my YouTube channel. And after you do something for 4 years, folks, and it hasn't, gotten to the level that you feel it should have gotten to by now, sometimes you start to question it. Sometimes you start to wonder if it's ever going to go your way. But I'm the kind of person that is relentless and never gives up and fights through all the struggles. I fight each and every day to live another day. So that's a little prelude into the second half of the show regarding the blog. It looks like we have some people on the YouTube side of things. Moonchild, I'm here. I told Mutt I would see her over here when she finishes her live stream. And thank you so much for being here, Moonchild. Mutt Nuts World says, hey, Eli, everyone, Mutt's here. Hey, Mutt, I had no idea that you were going live. I know you've been away from YouTube for a little while, working on some things behind the scenes. I would have not gone live. I would have rather supported your stream and done my stream another time. But hey, things happen. You ran your show. You finished your show. You're here now, and that's great. Mutt, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? Share some experiences, Mutt, of some things that you felt should have gone your way, but they didn't. And it kind of bugged you. Share some of your experiences there, Mutt. Same with you, Moonchild. And if Furious Reactor Gaming is here, he's one that I know has a bunch of questions. Hopefully he'll pop on in and ask those questions. That would be great. Mutt Nuts World says, hey, Moonchild says, hey, Mutt. Mutt Nuts World says, love the background. Looks like here right now we're getting snow calling for 1 to 4 inches. Well, Mutt and everyone else, the reason why I chose this wonderful background with a road filled with tons of snow is because sometimes in life, you're going to try your best to accomplish something and you may not move forward. No matter how hard you try or no matter how proper or well you do what you're trying to accomplish, sometimes it's going to feel like you're driving through the snow. It's going to feel like you're driving through 3 or 4 feet of snow. And if you don't have the right car, an example, 4-wheel drive, snow tires, or a combination of both, and navigate it properly and carefully and keep moving forward slowly but steadily, you're never going to reach your destination. You're going to feel like you're stuck, right? So I don't know if you would have figured that out if I didn't tell you, but it is a beautiful background. I get all my backgrounds from pixabay.com, royalty-free and copyright-free, and it is an amazingly beautiful background. But that's why I chose it, because sometimes, folks, you're going to feel like you're driving or trying to drive through 4 feet of snow, and you just can't wait to get to, the part of the road where it's clear, right? Where you reach the finish line, right? And you accomplish your goal, right? Okay? But I'm here to tell you that in any type of weather, figuratively speaking, even literally, but figuratively speaking, in any type of weather, if you keep pushing forward slowly and steadily, you're going to make it to that finish line. It may take you much longer than you expected, but if you believe in yourself and you continue pushing forward, you're going to eventually get there. Mutt Nuts World says, it was just a spur of the moment thing. No, I get that, Mutt. I totally get it. I had planned to do this stream today. I was going to set it up much earlier, but my sleeping pattern's been kind of off lately. And I got up early this morning, did some things, and then in the middle of the day, I took a nap, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was trying to set up my stream before I took my nap, but I was just so tired. I really needed a nap. So I said, I'll just set it up later. And then I was just rushing to put together the stream at the last minute. And that's why I started a little bit later than my scheduled time. And I made a mistake on the YouTube side of things initially. I scheduled the stream for 10:30 Pacific instead of 10:30 Eastern. So that kind of threw things off. And, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you you just have to deal with things as they come, right? Your body can only take so much, and you got to rest. And when your body says you need rest, you got to rest, right? So anyway, another story that I want to share regarding when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? Involves my dating life. And some of you guys and gals out there may feel the same way, especially if you're like me, you're a good man or a good woman. And, in your head and your heart, you want to find a good person to date, fall in love with, and hopefully marry and live happily ever after, right? If you're that type of person, like myself, I know not everyone's like that nowadays, but still a good amount of people are, whether they admit it or not. You want to find that true love. And if you're someone like me that has been through the ringer involving dating, you've learned to figure out ways, how to eliminate people quickly that may say they're ready for a relationship, but they really aren't. And I got to tell you, women out there, especially women under 40, the millennial women, they have mastered this game. I'm beginning to more so see that millennial women can tell when a man is very intuitive or not. And she knows that even if she's not fully ready for a relationship, if she wants to get any attention from that guy, she has to lead that guy on to believe like she is ready, right? So I have another story to share regarding a woman that I've been talking to for the past 3 or 4 days. I met her from Match.com. She's a 37-year-old woman. She has 2 kids that are preteen. They're almost in their teen years. She was recently divorced about 1.5 years ago. That should have kind of maybe been a red flag, but I communicated with her and she seemed pretty decent, good job, owns her own home, settled fairly in the divorce, and seems to have moved on with her life, right? So I messaged her on Match. She got back to me. We were communicating through the Match system, and then we exchanged cell numbers. So I'm going to read to you folks our text message communication here. I didn't have time to take screenshots regarding this, or I would have done it. But I'm just going to read this here and share with you what happened in between the text messages so you can understand that sometimes things are just not going to go your way. When nothing seems to go your way, which is what I'm trying to say, what should you do, right? Like I'm trying to put myself out there to find someone, and I'm trying to weed out the wrong people as quickly as possible. And some people bypass even my strong intuitive filter. It can get a little bit frustrating. But what should you do when you're dealing with something like this? Okay, should you get frustrated or should you just be cool? I'll show you how to handle it properly here. So after I got her number on Match, I said I'm going to refer to her as ma'am. I'm not going to mention her name. Obviously, I never mention anyone's names here, just for example purposes. Hi, ma'am. It is Eli from Match. How's your day going? This was Monday at 2:24 p.m. So she had told me on Match to text her to arrange a phone call for that night. I was trying to arrange that call before I went on with my day. And, I do a stream typically in the evenings. And I wanted to have that all set so once my stream ends, I can shut down, all my equipment and then get right to the phone call, right? So 9:12 p.m. came later that night, 7 hours later. And typically I don't suggest to text a woman twice, when you're getting to know her. But in this case, I was like, okay, maybe she's flaky. I'm going to try one last time. It's 7 hours later. If you're going to text her a second time, at least wait a bunch of hours later so you don't come off weak, needy, desperate, insecure, right? I said, hey, it's Eli again. Not sure if my last message went through earlier today. Oh, I know for a fact it went through. You just ignored me because you got busy with work or talking with other guys on Match. Eli's not a dummy. But are we still going to talk tonight? So She gets back to me and says, "Hi, Eli. Sorry, I just realized I committed to 9 with you." No, you didn't, ma'am. You're lying. You had other options that didn't pan out, so now you're settling for me. You think Eli's a dummy? It's been a crazy day, ma'am. All my days are crazy, but you know what? For the right person, I find and make time. And I know women that are truly interested in a man are going to find and make time no matter what's going on. Ma'am, you have a lot of options and you just don't know who to pick. Or maybe a guy came around that you perceive to be a little better than me, maybe a little bit more physically attractive than me, maybe might have a few more resources than me. That's what you're doing, man. And you're trying to keep me in backup status. I'm on the phone with my parents and need to put my kids to bed. BS, ma'am. You're on the phone with another guy that you perceive a higher value. No one tells, a new guy they're talking to on the phone that they're going to talk to on the phone for the first time. They're trying to arrange that they're talking to their parents. I'm on the phone with my parents. No, you're on the phone with another guy that you perceive to be of higher value to you, ma'am. You have more of an interest. And you want to push up our phone call to after that. And then after we talk, you want to decide which one's the better option, right? I'm so sorry I never put you in my calendar. Ma'am, why did you have to put me in your calendar? Or on your calendar? Ma'am, we're talking one time to see if we want to talk again. If I say, hey, let's talk at 9 o'clock, ma'am, I'll text you before I call. Ma'am, do you not remember that? Or do you forget things like a few hours later? Like, women do not forget things that they have a high level of interest in. This woman right here is either going through something where she's really not ready for a relationship, or she's talking to a bunch of guys and she's losing track. Now, I can see, ma'am, if you're talking to 10 other guys, you'd have to schedule them on a calendar. But keep on doing that. Keep talking to all these guys at once and get burned out and realize that the one person that was going to be a great match for you, you let them go, right? She goes, tomorrow would be better at this point unless you want to wait till closer to 10:30. That's late. Sorry, this is my lack of integrity on this one. No, ma'am, you have a lack of integrity, period. You're very confused, and you're doing what all other women your age do, or maybe even all women nowadays. You find a good guy to talk to, and then you wonder and think if there's someone that's a little bit higher status or better value, right? So you start talking to one guy, you commit to something, then another one comes around, right? And instead of saying, hey, I'm talking to somebody else right now, if it doesn't work out, I'll get back to you. You try to talk with us both at the same time, or you try to talk to 10 guys at once. What do you think about this story so far, Mutt and Moonchild? Okay, so I got back to her after those texts, and I said, will you be up at 10:30? She goes, I should be. You? And then I'm not the type of person that puts a woman on a pedestal, but she seemed like a sweet lady initially. She seemed like a nice lady. And when I say these sweet nothings early on, it's not to put a woman on a pedestal. It's not to suck up to her. It's to see what type of woman she is. Is she at least a little bit submissive enough to appreciate some sweet nothings, or is she not going to react to it, right? I said, for someone as sweet as you, absolutely. I'll call you then, and we'll text you right before I call to make sure you are ready. That's being very considerate, right? She gets back and says, sounds good, thank you, and I'm sorry about forgetting our 9. See, this woman is going out of her way to apologize constantly for everything. You know why? Because it's making me think that she's made a lot of these similar mistakes over the last year and a half since she's been divorced. And a lot of people have gotten upset at her for getting an appointment or something scheduled, right? So what is she doing? She's overcompensating, right? And while I can understand women more so doing this than men, because men overcompensating is just a huge turnoff to women. Even a woman that's overcompensating at this level, to me, is showing me a lack of integrity. And she even said it herself. She goes, sorry, this is my lack of integrity. I should have listened to her right then and there. When she said, this is my lack of integrity, I should have listened and said, well, if you're already having a lack of integrity before we even talk on the phone, maybe it's not even worth, investing any time in you. Next time a woman says that to me at this point, I'm out. But I played it cool because when I talk with these women, even if I don't feel it's going to more than likely work out, I like to use it for content. I like to kind of mess around with them to see what they're going to say. And you're going to see what I said at the end here. This is going to be funny. I wrote, you don't owe me an apology. Well, she did. But I was just being cool. You don't owe me an apology. Things happen. Talk with you soon. So then I said at 10:30, 10:31, hi, ma'am, are you ready for me to call you? She says, yes. I called her. We were going to talk only about half an hour. We ended up talking for 2 hours. And it was a great conversation. And we started talking about, hey, are you open to meeting at some point? And she said, yeah, I'm going to be actually near your area on Saturday. Maybe we can meet then. I said, well, how about we talk a few more times by phone between now and then? We don't have to talk for hours. Just, we can talk. And I said, so when are you free to talk? And I was hoping she would have said tomorrow, the next day, right? By the way, Will, get your questions in, dude, and I will answer your questions right after the break. I'm going to finish this story, take a break, and I'm going to answer your questions. I know you have a lot to talk about regarding some things you messaged me privately on, and I got the idea for the topic of this show because of you, Will. The topic is, when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? So, anyway. So, yeah, I was telling her, hey, when are you free to talk again, And she ended up saying, well, this was on Monday. Well, how about, let me see, let me think here. Let me look at my schedule. Let me think. How about Wednesday? Why not tomorrow? Are you not that interested in me? Now, I'm not desperate to talk to this woman. And I could care less what day we talk, but I was testing her, right? Because women that are interested in you and they feel a high level of interest and they put you at the top of their list compared to the other guys are going to clear their schedule for you. And if she really had a great time, she would have wanted to talk on Tuesday and Wednesday, even if it's just for half an hour, right? But she said, well, what do you think? How about Wednesday? I said, okay, Wednesday sounds great. So the next day, I decided to reach out to her because here's the thing. When you're talking to a woman online, she's talking to many other guys. So you got to gauge her level of interest as soon as possible. So at 2:12 p.m. the next day, I said, good afternoon, ma'am. It was nice to talk with you last night. I hope you are having a great day. 3 minutes later, she gets back to me right away. See, when women want to get back to you right away, they will. Okay, or within the hour or whatever, right? She said, hi, Eli. Yes, it was a great conversation. I am and hope you are too. So that was 2:15 p.m. yesterday, Tuesday, right? And I said to myself, I'm not going to respond to her back right away. I'm just going to let her think about it, right? Because I have a feeling this woman is just playing the field. And I have a feeling that I'm just a number in her, Rolodex. Well, they don't call them Rolodexes anymore. I'm just a number in her phone book, or her digital phone book on her smartphone, right? So at 9:13 p.m., 7 hours later, I wrote back and said, my day was busy. Thanks for asking, but awesome at the same time. I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow evening. Something you said last night was a game changer for me. She mentioned something like this woman was open to having more children. And that was really nice. And I was going to talk with her about that because, hey, If it's possible to still have children with somebody even at my age, I would love to have that. If not, I'm okay with that too. When I turned 40, I made having children an option. Okay? I'll explain more tomorrow on our call. I'll text you tomorrow to arrange it. And I wrote, good night, sweet lady. Just being a good dude, right? Maybe I shouldn't have said the sweet, but who cares? You know? If a woman's really into you, she's going to respond to that. If not, she's going to do what this woman said. So she just got back to me literally 4 minutes later and just said, night Eli. 2 words, night Eli. When a woman's short with you, that means she has a low level of interest for you. There's a better option she's spending her time on, right? So, at 2:37 p.m., I'm sorry, today's Thursday. On 2:37 p.m. the next day, which was Wednesday. I was a day behind, I believe. Sorry about that. I wrote, hi, ma'am. How's your day going? What time are you free to talk tonight? I'll be up late, so any time after 9 works for me. So remember, she committed to talking to Wednesday by phone. I texted her the previous day to say a quick hi. She said it was a great conversation. And she's having a great day and hopes I'm having a great day too, right? Now, at this point, maybe she was still talking with the other dude or whatever, and maybe it started to pan out to the point of where she wants to completely focus on this one guy, right? Guys, you got to learn how to gauge this, because a lot of women, especially women under 40, millennial women, will play this game, and they're going to waste your time. They're going to waste your time and try to keep you in backup status, right? So here's what she responded with. And this was literally, let's see. She said at 7:45 p.m., about 5 hours later, sorry, I was super busy today running around and didn't get to respond to this till now. I need to reschedule. I have another 3 hours of work to catch up on, and I have to get some sleep. No, ma'am. You need that time to talk to the other guy, and you want to keep me in backup status, right? I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation the other day, though. Then again, she says, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation the other day, though, right? So if you thoroughly enjoyed it, you think I'm a good guy, ma'am. You can't even find a half an hour or 20 minutes to talk with me? Or even 5 or 10 minutes? Hey, Eli, let me give you a call for 5 minutes. I just want you to know I'm still interested. I'm swamped, but I want to make some effort for you because I don't want you to think I'm a flake, right? Instead of doing that, sorry, I was super busy today, running around and didn't get to respond to this till now. I need to reschedule. I have another 3 hours of work to catch up on, and I have to get some sleep. What a crock of you-know-what. Will, if you're listening, and Mutt and Moonchild, tell me that's a crock of you-know-what, right? So that was 7:45 p.m. last night. Sorry, that was Wednesday last night. So I didn't get back to her. She didn't offer. She said, we'll have to reschedule, right? I need to reschedule, right? Sounds like I'm a business appointment, right? Ma'am, I don't want to make this sound like a business transaction. I just want to get to know you. You're either interested or you're not. Don't try to string me along because you got a bunch of other guys and you're trying to figure out which one's the right one. Just focus on the one you have the most interest on, right? And don't string the other guys along. That's pretty messed up, right? Fortunately for me, I know how to decipher that, right? So at 11:07 a.m. today, this was after last night, okay? This was literally 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17 hours later. And I knew by what she wrote in that last message, I knew that she wasn't interested or she was talking to her guy. And I knew what was coming. But I called her out professionally, right? I wrote, when are you available to reschedule? She never offered a time to reschedule. And when women have to cancel something and they don't offer a time to reschedule, it means they're not interested. It means there's somebody else in the picture. Like I haven't heard those lines before. I know. Well, it's a bunch of crap. This yeah. This woman, I was so intuitive with her when we were speaking, and she thought I was actually going to buy this, right? So I said, when are you available to reschedule? 11:07 a.m. Okay, so like, what is it, 18 minutes later? Let me see. Yeah, 18 minutes later at 11:25 a.m. She writes back and says, I was honestly busy last night. Deadlines. Ma'am, I didn't question you whether you were busy or not. All I asked you was, when are you available to reschedule? You see this? I didn't even say, she responded to me like I called her out, like she was bullshitting me, right? Did I even call her out, Will, or anyone? No. All I said was, when are you available to reschedule? Because you said you were busy. I didn't respond to you, ma'am. I left you alone. You said you need to reschedule. You want to reschedule, but you didn't offer a time to reschedule, which that tells me you're not really that interested, right? And then you said at the end, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation the other day, though, right? And all I said was, the next day, I respected the fact that you were busy. At least you said you were. You said you had another 3 hours of work to catch up on, right? And you need to get some sleep. Or you need another 3 hours to talk to a couple other guys. Ma'am, that's okay. Whatever you're doing is on you. But then you said, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and you needed to reschedule. So all I did was ask you, when are you available to reschedule? And she says, I was honestly busy last night. Deadlines. I'm not ready to date. What? Hey, American Dream, welcome to the show. Moonshot says, wow. Yeah, this woman has done this to many other guys. And most other guys have reacted to her and called her out on what I didn't call her out on. You see, I figured out what she was doing, right? But other guys that have figured it out have called her out on it. And even though I didn't react to her the same way these other guys have, she reacted to me like I had said the same things the other guy said that I didn't. All I said was, when are you available to reschedule? She said, I was honestly busy last night. I didn't ask you if you were busy last night, ma'am, or not. You already told me that. You said you got deadlines. You already told me that. I think you're full of it. I think you were talking to another guy, which is your choice. Then she says, I'm not ready to date. So you go from wanting to reschedule and saying consistently that you enjoyed the conversation. And all I said was, when are you free to talk next? That's it. If you're not interested in talking anymore, you can say, hey, Eli, I've decided that this is not going to work for me. I wish you the best. I would respect that a lot more. But no, you give me this BS runaround trying to keep me around in backup status until your better option, or what you perceive to be a better option, pans out, right? Wow is an understatement on this woman. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is hilarious, right? I wish you luck out there, Eli. I hope you find what you're looking for. No, you don't, ma'am. You're a selfish and inconsiderate person. And now I know why your marriage failed, because if you treated your husband, if you communicated with your husband, even half as bad as this, ma'am, that's horrible. This is horrible. She sounds completely uncommitted. No, she's selfish, bro. She was probably raised with a golden spoon. She's probably a spoiled, entitled millennial. This is one of those cases where this is a spoiled, entitled woman that's had everything handed to her on a golden spoon and never learned to appreciate other people and never learned responsibility. Now, she's got 2 kids. She's been forced into responsibility. But yeah, like I just said, when are you available to reschedule? I was honestly busy last night. Deadlines. I'm not ready to date. I didn't ask you that, man. All I asked you was, when are you available to reschedule? You could have said, Eli, I'm sorry. I just realized that this is not going to work for me. Instead of you giving me excuses and projecting your insecurities onto me, all you had to say is, Eli, I thought I had the time. I really need to focus more on myself. I'm not ready for this. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Good luck to you. I will not be rescheduling. I would have respected that a lot more. But see, she's not even, this is a 37-year-old grown woman, not even accepting responsibility or ownership, right? And just being a cool, normal, mature, communicative person. And she's got 2 kids. I believe they're 10 and 11, she told me, right? Wow. So you know what I did? I waited 5 minutes. I wasn't going to respond to her. But you know what I did? I sent her a response in caps. LOL. I sent her LOL. And then immediately after I sent her an LOL, I blocked her on my phone. And then I blocked her on Match.com. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to let her know that, man, you ain't playing me and you're full of it. And it sounds like to me that I'm not the first guy that's called you out. There are some other guys that have been woke, right? There are some other woke guys out there that are seeing what you ladies are doing to put us in backup status and waste our time, and they've called you out. Does that frustrate me? No. You know why? I've been through it, right? And I realize that I'm going to have to talk to a lot of women before I find the one. I may have to talk to 10,000 women, and it may take me another year before I find the right one. So I'm not going to let it get to me. I don't let these things get to me. I could chalk this up to a situation like the topic states. When nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? I've tried to connect with many women, and a lot of them go down this road. Should I give up? Should you give up on your goals, dreams, and aspirations no matter what they are? No. I'm not going to give up because I enjoy the company of a woman. And while I'm happy with myself, I personally would feel more fulfilled sharing my life with somebody and maybe possibly having children. So women like this, they don't get to me. They don't. Yes, I did waste a couple hours on the phone with her and some texting, right? But it's another learning experience I can share with you folks. And because I asked the right questions and forced her to say what she said to see where she really stands, I found out where she really stood after a few days instead of 2 or 4 weeks down the road. Guys, don't let women string you along. And ladies, on the flip side too, there are some guys that will string you along as well. Don't let them do that. But this more so primarily happens to men by women. So, yeah. So, Will, I know you have some questions, bro. I know you have some questions, dude. Get your questions in the chat regarding what you wanted to talk about, bro. And Moonchild, Mutt Nuts World, American Dream, whatever questions you have pertaining to the topic or any coaching questions or any YouTube questions, let me know. Dream, that was me on GLM stream earlier today. Dream, let me know when I go on break if you're still around. American Dream 1.5. If you saw the stream from yesterday and what were your thoughts about that. So, folks, we are at 43 minutes. I'm going to step away and take a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break, and then I'm going to come back for the second half of this show. You're not going to want to miss this. This is a great blog I'm going to be dissecting. When life is not going your way, stop doing these 10 things. One more time. When life is not going your way, stop doing these 10 things. Okay? You're not going to want to miss this because I've read this blog several times, and it makes perfect sense. And if you can learn how to not do these things, it's going to keep you on the right track, and you'll eventually accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. So, with that being said, give me a second here. Let me cue up some music here. Let me see here. Just need a couple more. Need a couple more. Come on, come on. And just need one more. All right, folks, music's all queued up. I'm going to step away for another 5, or my first, another 5. This is the first break I'm taking. Jesus, I'm already skipping to the next segment. I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When we return, we're going to go over that amazing blog. When life is not going your way, stop doing these 10 things. So stick around. We'll be right back. like magic, he's back on the snow. Right, Moonchild? Mudnut's World will say her famous welcome back. Will, I got a great answer for you, bro, that, hey, you don't have to take my advice, but I feel like if you do, bro, you can blow up that channel, all right? And American Dream 1.5, I'm still waiting to hear from you, bro. You know I'm here to help you. I'm here to help everybody. That's what it's all about. Help for everybody. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to accomplish everything that their hearts desire. Play the piano and dancing in the snow, right? You see, in life, we should all take the path of least resistance, right? But sometimes you encounter a road full of snow, and you have to learn how to navigate that too, right? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live on YouTube, and once again also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me on this Thursday evening if you're here live, Thursday, February 11th, 2021. And I was watching a little bit more of former President Donald Trump's second impeachment hearing. I was watching the Democratic impeachment managers more so make their case. It's pretty damning in my opinion. The funny thing is there aren't going to be enough senators from the right, the Republicans, to convict them because they're scared about their political future. That's why they call it politics, right? I'll probably do a stream tomorrow, a political stream. We can talk about this. We're going to talk about it professionally, maturely, and humbly. And maybe I'll even get a panel of people on if you're interested. Maybe Mutt or Will, Furious Reactor Gaming, or anyone else that wants to come on a panel. Let me know if that would interest you. But tonight, we are discussing when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? One more time. When nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? If you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay when it goes to a replay. And I shared a couple of great examples, including an example of a woman I was talking with recently because I'm still seeking for true love and happiness. I want to find a good woman to date, potentially fall in love with, potentially get married with, and if possible, have a family with. Even at my age of 47, I still haven't found that. I'm still open to it, right? But sometimes you come across some people that have a lack of integrity. And if someone flat out comes out and tells you that they lacked integrity in any way, shape, or form, you need to listen to them. Folks, I'll tell you something. When it comes to both men and women, if you listen to what people are saying when they're talking, you're going to be able to pick up on their intentions. And if somebody says, you know, this was my lack of integrity, if they even have to mention the word integrity early on when you're getting to know them, then you just have to automatically assume that they have an issue with integrity overall. And end it right there and move on to someone that is going to be much easier to communicate with and get to know, right? Right. All right, let me check out Facebook and see if anything's going on over there. Nothing going on Facebook, one person watching. Let me get back to the YouTube chat here. And let me see here. What Moonchild said earlier was women who apologize constantly also can be a symptom of having been in a past abusive relationship. I tend to do it because I fear people being mad at me. Well, here's the thing, Moonchild, and this is something that I hope you don't misunderstand or anyone understands. And there's no right time for a man to be abusive to a woman. Men and women should never be abusive to each other. But because sometimes people lack integrity, let's say she was lacking integrity in her marriage and she was a horrible communicator with her husband and she was trying to be controlling It sounds like this woman to me was a spoiled, entitled millennial. She was raised by a couple of parents. They're still together. I talked with her about this. And she had a good upbringing, but it sounds like she had everything handed to her on a golden spoon, which is what I'm trying to say. So she didn't learn responsibility. And so she's the kind of woman that's going to expect a lot more from her man or her husband than normal, right? And I'm sure her ex-husband probably tried to, reason with her. And the more he tried to reason with her, because she never learned responsibility, she kept on disrespecting him, right? Which set him off and basically made him say some things. I don't think he hit her, okay? And I don't know if when you're saying you were abused, it was mentally or emotionally or physically. Hopefully it wasn't physically. But I understand mental and emotional abuse can be bad. But see, Moonchild, there's a difference between mental and emotional abuse from a man to a woman and a man standing up for himself because his woman is disrespecting him. You understand that? And a lot of women, because they're very emotional, or if they haven't been raised right, or if they didn't have a strong father and mother figure, they can't decipher, how they're coming off at times. Okay? Even when a man respectfully says, listen, babe, I don't appreciate the way you're coming at me. You're being very selfish and inconsiderate to my wants and needs, and you're being disrespectful. That is not emotional or mental abuse. That is a man saying, listen, I don't like the way you're treating me. I didn't sign up for this. This is not the way you were when I met you or married you. If you don't change your attitude, I'm going to divorce you and take the kids and all that, right? So you got to understand the difference there, right? Let's see. Earlier, Furious Reactor Gaming. Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. Hi, Furious is Moonchild. Hey, Wilbro says Muttnuts World. Hey, Moonchild and Muttnuts says Furious Gaming Reactor. Like I haven't heard those lines before. I mentioned that earlier. Let's see here. Okay. Moonshot says, yep, I understand. Well, I'm going to get to your question in a second here. Yep, I understand. I said that before you got further into the story and heard her actions, etc. Ladies, you got to understand one thing. There's a difference between verbal and emotional abuse and a man not willing to put up with your BS. Just like you're not willing to put up with a man's BS, men are not going to put up with your BS. At least good, strong, confident alpha males like me. We're going to call you out and we're going to give you a chance to correct the issue. And we're going to give you 1 or 2 chances. But if after 2 chances, you don't figure it out and start being more respectful and doing your part equally, then we're going to leave you and divorce you, right? And see, I don't really think that this woman was verbally or mentally abused. And I'm not trying to say you weren't verbally or mentally abused, Moonchild. I'm saying that maybe you were in a relationship where you thought you were doing your part and maybe you weren't doing as much as you could have, or maybe your man was doing a lot more, right? And because your man called you out on it and you're used to doing things a certain way, it's now made you think in your head that, every time you deal with a new man that you're trying to get to know in the future and the same situation comes up and you're kind of flaky and stuff, it makes you feel like you have a lack of integrity. So I'm not trying to be rude to you, Moonchild, and I don't know your whole situation. And I'm not trying to be rude to this woman. What I'm saying is that, a lot of times, from what I've noticed with many women, they don't want to own up to their issues. And when they're called out on them, they're going to be more rebellious. And they're going to hold that against future guys. They're going to assume like all other guys are like that. Well, there's nothing wrong with a guy standing up for himself, right? If you're a woman that doesn't want to be with a man that stands up for himself when you're coming at him in horrible ways and you're not being a good lady to him, especially if he's being a good man to you, then why are you with him? That's all I got to say. So Furious Reactor Gaming says, I'm wanting to do a live playing a VR game called Beat Saber, but I don't know if it would be safe to do to the songs on there. Well, Will, I got a few suggestions for your channel that I feel could take your channel to the next level and start getting you to stand out amongst all gamers, because there are a lot of gamers out there, right? There are a lot of gamers playing the same games, doing the same things. So why should people watch you? Number one, I watch you because I love who you are, but I've gotten to know you, right? But other people that don't know you, why would they want to get to know you? You have to give them a reason to want them to get to know you, right? By standing out amongst all other gamers that are doing the exact same thing that you're doing, right? So first of all, Will, what I would do is, if I was you, I would probably pre-record a bunch of game segments. I would pre-record for an hour, or I would live stream to a separate channel besides your main channel for an hour and wait for the live stream to process and wait for a few hours and see if YouTube's content ID system picks up any of the music on there. That is really the only way to find out. Now, I don't suggest you do that on your main channel. I don't think it would harm it, but, I would definitely test things out before I go live, because let's say you get a good turnout, then you get a content ID claim, or you get something that blocks your video and it can't be viewed worldwide. You just wasted your time, right? So again, what I would do, Will, is just for fun. I'm sure you play games for fun too, even off the air, right? Get a second channel going if you don't already have one, verify it, and within 24 hours, you'll be able to live stream. Set up a live stream and set the live stream to unlisted, and that way no one can view it, right? And then, again, once the live stream ends, end it, and then you have to wait for the replay to process. It'll typically take an hour or two, sometimes less, and then go back. Even wait till the next day, and then go back into the back end of YouTube Studio and see if there are any content ID claims. Does that make sense to you, Will? Let me know. Now, Moonshot says he admitted raising his fist to me in front of a domestic violence judge, but I get the difference between BS and abuse. A lot of guys don't really want to be abusive. They just want to be respected and appreciated, Moonchild. Now, here's the thing. I would never raise my fist to a woman. I don't argue women. I don't raise my fist to women. I don't emotionally, physically, or verbally abuse women. It's not worth it, because it's one of two things with me when it comes to women. It either is going to click or it's not. If it doesn't click, I'm not going to waste my time with you. And I'm going to figure out fairly quickly, like I do with all these women I talk to, whether it's worth it to move forward or not by asking the right questions. Okay? So, again, I don't think most men want to be abusive. It's just that women are emotional beings, and sometimes women are going to push the boundaries, right? And as a man, you got to be like, that's just the way women are, right? And as a man, you need to tolerate, some of a woman's emotions, the normal aspects of her emotions. But if it becomes too much and she becomes more emotional than the normal level of a woman being emotional, at that point, you got to say, look, this is not working for me. You're becoming too much. It's just too emotional for me. I get it. You're a lady. I respect that. But hey, if you can't be cool and down to earth and easy to get along with, I'm just going to move on and let you find somebody else that will make you happier, right? As a man, you got to be strong and just walk away because you have other options, right? Furious Reactor Gaming says, okay, sounds good. I will definitely do that. I have one more bit of advice for you, Will. More piece of advice for you. I think you should change your channel name. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just going to give you some advice here. I was thinking while I was on the break, Will, what if you changed your channel name to Gaming Jock or Gamer Jock, or, No Nerd Gaming or Non-Nerdy Gaming or something like that. If you create a unique, catchy title to your channel that separates you from all other gamers, people are going to come to you just because of that, right? But in addition, Will, understand this. It's not about the games you play. It's about you. You are the star of the show, Will. You're the star of the show, right? You have a great personality. You need to do commentary throughout the entire time you're playing games. If you're on for an hour or two, you got to share stories. You got to, engage your audience, and you cannot have any dead air. You got to keep that thing flowing from beginning to end. If you have even 10 or 20 seconds of dead air, the audience is gone, right? But if you entertain your audience while playing the game in the background, boom, that's amazing. That's it. So, gamer jock, gaming jock, non-nerdy gaming or no nerd gaming or something like that, because you're like more of the jock type of gamer, dude. Like you're a smart guy, Will, but you're like myself. You're a smart guy, but you have more of the jock, cool, outgoing type of personality, right? And no disrespect to other gamers, most gamers are kind of like nerdy and submissive, right? You're the outgoing, straightforward alpha type of dude, right? Now, there's already a channel called Alpha Gaming, or else I would suggest that, right? But, Gamer Jock or something like that. We could figure that out behind the scenes, bro. I don't know what you think about that, but you let me know. Hopefully that helps you out, dude. And if you want to talk some more tomorrow, I'll be around in the afternoon, and we can talk. All right. Okay, folks, let's get over to this blog. Let's move over to the browser source. And I'll be sharing the link of this blog once I'm done with the stream. I may even have to take another break because a lot of times when I come back from break, I'm answering questions. And typically every 45 minutes or so, I refill my coffee and use the restroom. So we'll see how it goes. But keep those questions coming. Let me check out Facebook real quick. Nothing happening on the Facebook side of things. So let's get right to it. All right. This is from lifehack.org. And the title, once again, is When Life is Not Going Your Way, Stop Doing These 10 Things. Again, keep the comments coming on the YouTube side of things, and I'll answer your questions in between. And this was written by Maggie Heath. She is a passionate writer who blogs about communication and lifestyle on Lifehack. Excellent. Excellent. When you go to the blog, you can check out her profile. You can read her full profile. All right. There are an endless number of reasons that might not be going your way. That happens to us all. Every one of us, all day, every day. But not all of them are external. Right. Right. It could be internal too. You can benefit from taking control of your life and changing what you believe needs to be changed. It all starts within yourself and how you see yourself and what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with, right? And don't break your rules of what you're willing to not put up with just because if you're a guy and a hot woman comes your way. Don't be fazed by the looks, guys. Stick to your guns. And that's going to change your life. It'll also give you a better chance of that sexy woman respecting you because you're going to be acting different than every other guy that she approaches or approaches her, right? Here's a list of 10 things to stop doing in order to lead your life in the direction you want. Number 1, stop whining. Oh boy, I got to give that one a big round of applause. Stop whining. Whether you're a man or a woman, I know it's harder for women to stop whining because you ladies are emotional beings. But especially if you're a man and even a woman, stop whining. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to change anything. In life, things are either meant to be or they're not meant to be, especially when you're dating. It's either going to be there when you first meet or it's not. Chemistry is not a choice. It's a must. So why whine about something you have no control over, right? Test it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then let that person go and move on to the next until you find someone that works. But stop whining. Notice I said whining, not venting or expressing frustration. Right now, I'm just expressing my thoughts and my feelings, but that's not whining. And I'm sharing stories of my experiences. Whining is negative. It does nothing to improve your situation or mood or the mood of whoever has to listen to you. If you need to get something off your chest, you should do it. Yeah, never hold something in, because then you're going to build up pressure like a volcano. And then you're going to eventually blow up, and you might blow up during the wrong time, which I don't think is really a right time to blow up. But you might come across, if you're a guy, you might come across the right woman and blow up and ruin something that could have been good. So you got to express yourselves, fairly quickly after you feel something. Women do this naturally. Men have a much more difficult time doing this because a lot of men feel that expressing their emotions at times is going to make them less of a man. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. You'll feel a burden being lifted. However, whining is totally unproductive. It is. It's a waste of time, energy, etc. Whining drains your energy. It just makes you feel 3 times more tired than you probably were before you started whining. So when you start to realize that whining is going to drain your energy quicker, you'll figure it out. Trust me, you will. You'll stop doing it. It won't get you anywhere. It'll set you further behind. Examine your emotions and see what you can do to change whatever is frustrating you. What you want to do is get a grip on your emotions. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay? And understand that it is what it is. In life, things are either going to happen or they're not. Not everything's going to pan out. Only things that are meant to be are going to pan out. And don't try to force things that aren't meant to be. Let those people go and move on and try with other people. And if you continue to, come across people that you're not jiving with, just don't let it get to you. Eventually, you'll find the right person or the right group of people to hang out with, whether it's for dating, friendship, business partnerships, or whatever you're looking to connect with people for, right? Number 2, stop losing perspective. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the ball. Is your problem short-term? It is likely that things will start going your way once X, Y, and Z happen. If the answer to those questions is yes, then remove yourself from your immediate situation and focus on the long term, like this woman I was talking about earlier. Okay? Was she cute? Yes. Did she seem okay? Was she a great conversationalist? Yes. Was I looking forward to meeting her? Yes. But deep down within, because of what I've experienced in the past and how things are nowadays, did I feel there may be a chance it could go the other way? Yeah, and it did go the other way. Okay? So what did I do? I removed myself from the situation immediately. I blocked her. And then I moved on. And now I'm talking to other people. And focus on the long term, right? Okay? Don't let these people get to you. Try to figure out people's intentions as quickly as possible. And then if it doesn't work out, don't sit there and try to yell at them or get back at them. It's a waste of your time, right? And they might even get you a restraining order if you do it anyway. You don't want to do that. Just chalk it up to an experience that didn't work out. It wasn't your fault. It just wasn't the right person, and move on. Let's see here. Let me check out the YouTube chat. I will definitely give it some thought. Will, you want to get monetized, don't you? Well, you want to get the watch hours. You want to get monetized. You want to start making some good money. If you do, bro, I'm telling you, you make a few little tweaks like that. I did the same thing, dude. I used to be Coach Eli, uncompromising business and personal relationship coaching. It was a long title, right? And yeah, people still know me, by that, right? But what's easier to remember? What's more catchy? A grip on life. A grip on life describes what I do perfectly. I help people get the best possible grips on their lives so that way they can accomplish whatever it is that their hearts desire. How do I do that? I help them work through their emotional issues, mental issues. I share my experiences regarding what's worked in the business world. I've shared my tips on what works with women and what doesn't. And on the flip side with women or for women, what works with men and what doesn't. So it's about branding, Will. And we got to get you branded, because until we get you branded, you're going to be stuck. And I'm not saying what you do isn't good. What you do is great, but let's amp it up. Dude, you've got great camera presence. You've got a great voice. You've got a great personality. Are you ready to explode, dude? I'm not trying to blow smoke up your you-know-what. I love you like a brother, Will. I do. I want to see you be successful. Will, you do all that, you're going to pass me up. Dude, you're going to be more successful than all of us. You got it, bro. You got it. Anyway, I will definitely give it some thought. Okay. I'll be around. You know where to find me, Will, right? You know where to find me, right, brother? I'm going to read a couple more, then I'm going to take one more break before I finish this up. Number 3, stop comparing. Stop doing that. There's no need to compare yourself to anyone. You are your own entity. You are great in your own special and unique way. So what if someone else is better at something than you are? Like, there are people out here on YouTube that make more money than me. Okay? Does that make them better than me? Do I feel threatened by them? Do I feel jealous of them? No. Do I also know that these people are running drama channels and making money in ways that, to me, I wouldn't say is unethical, but it's not the best way to make money? I don't let that get to me. I don't compare myself to these people, right? And even if these people, say they talk smack about me and say, oh, I make more money than Eli, I get more views than Eli, it's like, I don't compare myself to them, because we're in a different league. They're in a different arena than I'm in, right? You have a particular set of skills and knowledge that others don't have. That's what I have. I have a particular set of skills and knowledge that most others don't have. There are other coaches, and I'm not saying I'm all that, but not everyone is capable of becoming a self-proclaimed life coach. Not everyone is able to work on themselves like I did and bettered myself to the point of where now I want to share my experiences with you folks. And furthermore, most, if not all coaches, how many coaches do you see on YouTube that go live almost every day and engage an audience free of charge? Now, sure, you can donate if you want, but it's optional, right? So I don't compare myself to anybody, and you shouldn't either. And the reverse is true as well. You are your own worst critic. Another way of saying you are your own worst enemy. So why be your own worst enemy, right? So ease up and stop comparing yourself to everyone else. That goes for you, Will, Moonchild, you, American Dream 1.5, you, Mutt Nuts World, and anyone else watching. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You are unique in your own special way. Focus on your greatness and putting more out into this world regarding your greatness, and you're going to see what's going to happen down the road. Number 4, stop forgetting past failures. The best thing about failure is that you can learn from it. I've learned from all of my mistakes, and I embrace them. And even though these trolls come out here and they attack me, oh, Eli did this. Eli hasn't owned up to that. Eli this, Eli that. Oh, Eli's a horrible person, right? Yeah, I'm a horrible person, right? Thank you for the compliment, right? The reason why I feel I am good at what I do is because I've made so many mistakes in the past, and I've never forgotten those mistakes. Often, you can learn even more from a failure than a success. Absolutely. There's not a person on the planet I know that became successful the first time around without making lots of mistakes. Keep your failures in mind as a way to better yourself. In other words, learn from your mistakes. I learned from each and every one of my mistakes. How many of you out there have learned from your mistakes? Baron Guitar, more like a life spirit guide. Why so many thumbs down? Downskis. Is that you, Darren, from the MGTOW's The Only Way to Live channel? I'm not sure who you are, man. And the only people that even care about why I have so many thumbs down are the people that are giving them to me, which are the trolls. So Baron Guitar, do you know me? Have you been here before, or how'd you find out about the channel? I don't mind that you chat, and hey, I don't care whether I get thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm here to do my thing. So tell me a little bit more about you, Baron Guitar. I think you were here the other night. Anyway, let me go through number 5 here, and then I'm going to step away for one more break, and I'll come back and finish the last 5. Number 5, stop seeing problems as roadblocks. One more time. Stop seeing problems as roadblocks. No, I don't have anything to do with MGTOW. How'd you find out about my channel, Baron Guitar? Curious to know. Not a big deal. I get trolled a lot. I can't even talk. I get trolled a lot, bro. And so I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to, engage you and get to know you. Just as you can learn from failure, you can also learn from the problems you're currently facing. I think those are some Facebook messages I hear in the background. Anyway, I don't have time to check them out right now. Instead of getting frustrated, take a step back to evaluate the situation and figure out what you can do about it. All right. Give me a second here. Because those messages are distracting. And I may have to mute that group message. Sometimes you get involved in some group messages on Facebook. And I have Facebook open because I'm running the stream on Facebook, and I can check on the stream status. And when these people keep sending messages while I'm live on the air, it's distracting. Let me see here. Mute conversation. Mute until I turn it back on. Okay. That's the problem when you are on Facebook or when you're a part of a group chat. Like if you leave notifications on, let's say there are 10 or 20 people in the group, every time somebody responds, you get a notification on your phone. And if you're, like I'm live on the air with the Facebook browser open on the Facebook video section, the doom, the bell sound keeps popping in. Well, that takes care of that. I seen the horrible T-Bear video and check out what's going on here. I don't know what you're talking about. What is a T-Bear video, Baron Guitar? I've seen the horrible T-Bear video and check out what is going on here. Can you be more specific? Because I have no clue what you're talking about. So you got to stop seeing problems as roadblocks, okay? In order for you to become successful at anything, you have to learn how to be good at that particular thing. For example, when I was younger, I didn't have as much experience on how to handle women and getting to know women as I do now. If we go back to my teens and early 20s, dealing with a woman like I dealt with, this past week, the woman I shared a story on earlier on in the first part of the show, I would have probably been more of a beta male submissive type of guy, and we would have probably still been talking, and I would have probably been placed on backup status, indefinite backup status, while she goes out, sleeps with other guys or dates other guys, right? And then every so often will text me just to kind of keep me hanging on by a thread, right? So I learned from my mistakes. I learned from my failures in the past. So I don't see those failures as problems. I see those failures as opportunities, and you should as well. If you take failures, or if you flip failures around and look at them as a learning experience, it's not really a failure. It's a positive learning experience. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. With that being said, I'm going to take one more break and then come back and go over the last 6. Good evening, Lewis Fuller. I saw your messages on Facebook. I had to mute the conversation temporarily because it was coming through my browser on the air. Because I have Facebook open to look at the stream status on the Facebook version of this live stream. But welcome to the show, Lewis Fuller. I'm going to step away. Lewis, if you missed the first part of the show, you're going to want to go back and check out the replay. It was an awesome, Moonchild, let Lewis know. Interesting story, right? Interesting story, right? Fair Guitar, I don't think there's such a thing as beta male or alpha male or omega males. Listen, dude, that's your opinion. I respect that. In my opinion, there are alpha males, there are beta males. If there weren't any beta males, then do you think that women would be able to get away with what they're doing nowadays? I'm not being disrespectful by saying that, but if every single guy was an alpha male and understood female nature, do you think that women would be able to take advantage of some men for their resources and control certain men? I'm not saying all women are like that, but many are. But this is an interesting topic that is relevant. Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to switch back over to full screen and queue up a little more royalty-free YouTube music. And step away for another quick break. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see. I just need one more. All right, folks, I'm going to step away for another 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When we return, we're going to go through the last 5 aspects of when life is not going your way, stop doing these things. So stick around. We'll be right back. He's back. He's back. He's back. And that's a truth bomb. He's back, full of truth bombs, ready to drop those truth bombs and help as many people as possible. I can't even get my words out. Wow. Get the best possible grips on their lives. Truth bomb. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I want you all to feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. You feel it? Feel it. Feel it. Don't let anything kick you down or get in the way of your success. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Welcome back to the third segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me tonight. We have a great topic we've been discussing. And the topic is, when nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? When nothing seems to go your way, what should you do? We're also talking about what you shouldn't do that will help you move forward and not impede your progress, right? Now, if you missed the first two parts of the show, definitely go back and check out the replay. A lot of great information was shared between the YouTube chat and some stories I shared. And folks, I'm telling you, storytelling is where it is at. If you are a struggling YouTuber out there and you're trying to find your way, one of the best ways to connect with and relate to your audience is by storytelling. Don't be ashamed to share your stories, because you'd be surprised how many people will resonate with you and connect with you and support you and become great subscribers, followers, and you'll even make some great friends along the way. Lewis Fuller says, my internet is being stupid. Lewis, what kind of internet connection do you have? Do you have cable? Do you have DSL? I assume you don't have fiber, because if you had fiber, you'd probably have no issues. Welcome back, says Moonchild. I am back, says Lewis Fuller. And Baron Guitar says, send me a link. Lewis Fuller is going live next Monday. I will be going live at 9 a.m. Central Time. That is 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. If I'm up early in that morning, or on that morning, Lewis, I will definitely be there. Muttnuts World says, let me see. Lewis Fuller, first of all, says, yeah, it gets quite irritating with the dinging all the time. It sure does, Lewis. That's why I turned off, I muted notifications temporarily until my show ends. Muttnuts World says, I will catch the rest of the show on replay. The snow and ice is messing my net up. Catch up with everyone later. Thank you for stopping by, Mutt, and welcome back. Glad that you're back. I know you took about a week off or so to focus on some personal things, but glad to see you back. Lewis Fuller says, on Facebook Messenger all day, it is a ding. All day I hear ding, ding, ding. Well, you can turn off notifications, Lewis. But if you like the engagement, then maybe you like getting those notifications. I used to love getting a ton of notifications, and I'm not saying I still don't. But when I'm live on the air and I have the Facebook browser open and it's coming through, my desktop audio, it can be distracting to the show. At least I know how to handle it, right? And move forward, right? Baron Guitar says, no elevator music. Well, dude, what do you want me to do? Play copyrighted music and get my video demonetized? Come on, man. You know why I have to play YouTube audio library music. I mean, come on, dude. I'd rather play some Michael Jackson, just Beat It, right? Well, for the trolls, that is. I'd play Beat It. They told you, don't you ever come around here. Don't want to see your face, you better disappear. That's what I say to the trolls, right? The fire's in your eyes and the words are very clear, so beat it. I can't remember the words. It's been a while. Shout out to the late and great Michael Jackson. Moonshot says I have Spectrum and it is -11 here. Is that Spectrum cable? Is it pretty fast for the most part? Is it pretty reliable, Moonchild? Lewis Fuller says, it is because it's like 24 inches here in Texas. I know the hardline cables are cold and they contract when it's cold. When you guys get fiber in your area and you get that, all your problems will be done. Come rain, come shine, cold, hot, it doesn't matter. When the whole world gets fiber to the premises or fiber, everywhere, right? You folks are going to love it. I've had fiber for almost 2 years at my place. 1,000 up, 1,000 down. And I tell you, once you get fiber 1,000 up, 1,000 down, you can never go back. Moonchild says usually. All right, let's go and finish up this article here. All right, number 6. Stop getting too attached. Especially for you guys out there. You see a hot chick and you get attached because she's hot, right? But just because she's hot doesn't mean she's going to be fun to be around. Doesn't mean she's going to want to be with you for the right reasons. Doesn't mean that, you need to get attached, because you have many options, guys. There are plenty of hot women out there. There are plenty of women in general. Dreams, goals, desires, aspirations, whatever you want to call them. Everyone has them. Of course we do. And I'm here to help you figure out your dreams and help you accomplish them. But many people get too emotionally attached to them. Cannot get overly emotionally attached. Okay? I love what I do. And I'm not extremely overly emotionally attached to what I do, but I'm very passionate about what I do. And if I don't reach my goals right away, or it takes me longer to reach my goals, I don't give up. I don't get emotionally stir crazy about it. I don't complain. I don't whine, like some of the earlier steps I mentioned in this blog. Go back and check out the second part of the show if you missed that. Things can get dicey whenever emotions are involved, and sometimes, no matter how hard you try, things just don't work out the way you had hoped they would. I've said this time and time again, I'll say it again. Sometimes you can do everything right, 100%, 1,000,000%, give it all you've got, and it still might not work out, or it may not work out right away. Does that mean you give up? No. Look at me. I've been running my business for 4 years. I'm a lot further than where I was 4 years ago, but I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. Does that mean I'm not happy? No. I love what I do, and I do what I do solely on the fact that I love doing what I do. And I know eventually it's going to get there. But if I stop and I quit, it'll never get there, right? I don't let my emotions overrule my better judgment, and neither should you. Now, I know it's a little bit more difficult for women to understand that. Maybe not understand that, but deal with it, because women are more emotional beings. Women respond to everything initially emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And guys are supposed to be a little bit more logical, right? But we have guys out there nowadays that overreact emotionally. And that is going to definitely set you back as a man, because you're not supposed to let your emotions get to you. You're supposed to be the rock, right? Keep your dreams, but keep a little bit of space in between your emotions and your desires, right? Understand that things aren't always going to pan out. And they may not pan out the first time, the second time, the fifth time, the 10th time, the 50th time, or even the 100th time. But if you keep moving forward, that 101st time might be where it takes off. And if you give yourself that extra chance after 100 failures instead of quitting, and it takes off, you're going to be like, wow, it was worth it. I'm glad I pushed through the tough times, right? It will save you a lot of heartache later on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't be too hard on yourself. Number 7, stop giving up. Like I just said, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to keep pushing forward until this gets to where I know it's going to get to. And you've got to think positive. You've got to think to yourself that one day this is going to be everything I imagined it would be, I desired it would be, I pictured it would be, right? You're in charge of your life. When you give up, the only person to blame is you. One more time. You're in charge of your life. When you give up, the only person to blame is you. I don't have to repeat what I just said a few minutes ago. It's the same thing. You push through the tough times and realize that, hey, you can do everything right, and it still may not take off in the right direction initially. But if you keep pushing forward and keep coming back each and every day and getting a little better each and every day, you're going to eventually get there. And you're going to thank yourself when you get there for not giving up. You have to work at it. Right. You have to work at it and not be lazy and be persistent. Be persistent. Okay? You got to persevere and persist. Right? Number 8, stop losing faith. Never lose faith in yourself. Never lose faith in yourself. I can understand if you lose faith in other things, such as our government and the system and all that, right? I don't think, anyone would disagree with that. Okay, I think everyone has lost faith in other aspects of life, in other people, government, etc., right? The corporate world, etc., right? But if you lose faith in yourself, what do you have? Nothing. So never, ever lose faith in yourself. Stop losing faith. Things can always change, and you're often in control of that. You're completely in control of that, in my opinion. It's up to you, right? It's up to you what you create and make out of yourself and how far you want to take it and how hard you want to work at it. If a situation isn't going your way, don't lose faith that it could change, because it can and it will if you keep pushing forward and pushing through the tough times where you legitimately give it all you've got and you're not getting to where you want to get to as fast. You keep pushing forward. Eventually, like I keep saying, you're going to get there. Believing in yourself, I always say that, believe in yourself, love yourself, right? And the potential for things to go your way is powerful and will help you find the strength to do what's best for you. Another thing to add to that is, hey, how are you going to be able to help other people if you can't help and take care of yourself first, right? I see other people trying to help and take care of other people, and they're lacking that within themselves. Think about that. Does that even make sense? Just a couple more here, folks, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So if you have any questions, get them in the chat right now. Lewis Fuller says, I am back again. Adelaide's Advice Addict. Good evening, Eli. How you doing, Adelaide's? Welcome to the show. If you missed the first part and the second part of the show, a lot of great information. Hopefully you check out the replay. But welcome. Glad to have you on board. Number 9, stop trying to be someone you're not. Now, there's a difference between you trying to be something you're not and others saying, stop trying to be something you're not, right? Because I'm a life coach. I'm a self-proclaimed life coach, but I am a life coach, and this is what I enjoy doing. This is who I am. And I'm not trying to be anyone besides that or be myself, right? So I am who I am. Now, if other people are going to come out and say, you know, you're not a life coach, you're a fake life coach, or if they come out to you and say, you know, you're trying to be something you're not, but deep within you know that that's who you are, then chalk it up to a bunch of people just projecting their insecurities onto you, right? But legitimately, don't pretend to be something to get ahead, because you'll never make it. You're never going to make it. Even if you can convince a bunch of people that you're a certain way. Let's say you're a YouTuber, you pretend to be something that you're not, and you pick up an audience and you gain 1 million subscribers, right? And then eventually people figure out that you're something different. Do you think they're going to support you after that? No, they're all going to unsubscribe and leave, right? So at some point, you know, it's all going to come crashing down. Be yourself. Be yourself and be consistent, and that's going to get you the furthest ahead. Okay? Remember who you are and what you stand for. Right. Don't change your ways for anyone. Now, be open to suggestion and change, you know, on certain things. You got to have some flexibility, but your core values should never change. Changing yourself in the hopes that the other things might change too is not a good idea, because it'll never work out, because then you're not being true to yourself. And when you're not true to yourself, there's a greater chance you're going to give up when the times are tough. If you love what you do, like I love what I do, I'm going to persist and persevere through the tough times to eventually reach full success, right? You'll feel miserable trying to be a different person, right? And then you have to try to keep up the facade and try to remember all the BS you put out there to keep the facade going. You're not going to enjoy doing that. At some point, you're going to screw up anyway, and it's going to come crashing down. Don't put yourself in that position. Just be yourself. And if you've been in middle school where everyone tries to be someone they're not, well, we're young at that point. We're immature and we're still growing up. I can understand that. You know just how exhausting that charade can be. Yeah, I used to do that kind of stuff. I used to try to make myself seem better than I am, you know, when I was younger. And it never worked out. People would always call me out, and they were right. And they were right. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Last but not least, number 10. Baron Guitar says, never give up. Let me see here. Moonchild says, hi, Adelaide. Adelaide's advice addict says, hello, Moonchild. Lewis Fuller says, you take your time, check Adelaide's advice addict, or addict, you mean. Yeah, go ahead and share her channel link if you like. Folks, moderators, feel free to share your channel links or other channel links in the chat whenever you get a chance with your moderate. I trust my mods. I have a really, really trustworthy and great moderator crew here now. So my house is your house. Neil Strauss vibes. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Number 10, stop obsessing. Right. Obsessive compulsive behavior. Some people call it OCD. Some people actually have OCD, but even if you don't have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, you can still be an obsessive person. Don't obsess over anything. Take everything with a grain of salt. Take things as they come in stride. Okay? Don't stress too much about something. Obsessing too much over one thing can be draining and might cause the situation to get worse. You know what? I used to stress about views and monetization and all that on my YouTube channel, for example. And you know what? I found ways to just kind of let it go and not let it get to me. And the less and less I think about it, the more and more successful I become naturally over the course of time. I found ways to work through that. When you don't obsess over things and you don't overly expect things to happen quicker than they're meant to be, things will just naturally pan out in the way they were meant to be. Sometimes it is good to step back and give that situation slightly less attention. Like I just mentioned, I don't worry about super chats anymore. I don't worry about donations. I don't even put the amount of donations on my screen anymore. I think that's pointless. A lot of other creators do that and have done that. And they're just kind of, to me, that's just showing off. There's no need to make your focus of your YouTube channel, for example, about how much money you're making. If people donate to you, thank them for their donation. You can mention the dollar amount if you want. If it's a super chat, they're going to see it, right? But even if they PayPal you or send you a Cash App or however else, Venmo or whatever, right? Mention it and thank them and be genuine with your thank you and move on. No need to tally it up. No need to talk about how much money you made and compare that to another YouTuber. Go back to the first part, the second part of this stream actually, where I started sharing, the parts of this blog where I mentioned that. There was a specific section about that. You'll feel better without the added stress of obsession. Absolutely. No need to obsess. Obsession creates more stress, unnecessary stress. And the more you stress yourself out, the less energy you're going to have and the further back it's going to set you. Just be cool, calm, collected, and laid back. Take things in stride. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. Be a good person, and eventually anything you're trying to accomplish is going to pan out for you. All right, folks, that was 10 things to stop doing when life is not going your way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share this link on the Facebook side of things first. Hang on a second. Get any questions you have, comments or concerns you have in the chat right now on YouTube or Facebook. I'll be going off the air in just a few minutes. Let's go back to full screen. And let's add this to YouTube Studio, about a third of the way down under Source. All right, if you refresh now on the YouTube side of things or come back on the replay, you'll see the link to this article. You can check it out and even read more about this amazing blog author, Maggie Heath. You can read her full profile. She is a writer who blogs about communication and lifestyle on the lifehack.org website. An amazing website if you haven't checked it out, folks. All right. Let me check out the chat one more time on Facebook. Nothing going on Facebook. Let me check out YouTube. Never get your ex back, though. Don't chase him, replace him. That's a good way to look at it. Nothing wrong with getting back an ex down the road if she's in a better place and you're in a better place. But here's the thing, Baron Guitar. You don't chase your ex. If your ex is the one that broke it, let's say you're a guy and your woman breaks up with you, right? You don't chase her, right? She may try to friend zone you, and initially you're just going to say, look, I'm not interested in being friends because, I love what we have. I think you're a cool person. I'm just not looking for friendship. But if you want to change the terms of our relationship from romantic to friendship, that's on you. I'm not willing to agree to those terms. I'm going to let you go because you don't want to be with me anymore. But hey, if you change your mind down the road and have to be single, give me a call if you change your mind. That's all. And then you turn, you walk away, you never look back. You don't ever call her. You don't ever text her. You don't ever email her or anything. You don't reach out to her. Okay. The only way a second chance will ever happen is if she reaches out to you. And if she reaches out to you, that's saying that she's interested. If she reaches out to you down the road and you have to be single, you say, hey, what's going on? Oh, hey, just looking to see how you're doing, and blah, 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 right? Well, at that point, you could say, well, it's interesting that you reached out to me. What are you seeking? Oh, just wanted to see, maybe if you wanted to hang out sometime. Well, at that point, if you're interested, you say, yes, okay, sounds cool. Yeah. How about you grab a bottle of wine and come over to my place and we'll have dinner? And if she says, well, I was more so thinking about, meeting for coffee. I'd say, well, I'm kind of busy right now and, I don't really have time for coffee. I'm free in the evenings and I'm not really up to doing something besides hanging out at my place. So if bringing a bottle of wine and hanging out at my place doesn't work for you, give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks. And maybe I'll be up for doing something more formal at that time. If she's really into you, she's not going to want to wait 2 or 3 weeks. She'll grab that bottle of wine, come over, have dinner, and next thing you know, don't put that dirty pair of underwear back on, says Baron Guitar. If she reaches out to you, you effed up because you're in the same place. If you choose to continue or she's desperate, so you should run for the hills. No, dude, listen. Sometimes people make honest mistakes. The bottom line is this. Life is a negotiation, dude. If somebody breaks up with you, okay, and then down the road they realize they made a mistake, right? Okay, and they reach out to you. If the woman reaches out to you, if she broke up with you, maybe you give it a chance and see what happens. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you a desperate man because you didn't reach out to her. She reached out to you and in essence, she's saying, okay, I screwed up, right? And if she tries to get you to take her to dinner or meet her for coffee, you just say, hey, look, I'm not up for doing something formal. If you want to come over to my place, bring a bottle of wine and have dinner. Like, she has to come over to your place like a minimum of 2 or 3 times in a row before you take her out to see her intentions. Okay? If she's willing to do that, then it may be worth a chance. If she's not, then tell her, hey, give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks and, maybe I'll be up for doing something formal at that point. And women don't have the patience to wait that long. You're testing them. They don't have the patience to wait that long if they really want to try to work something out with you, right? So you test her to see her intentions, dude. She did you a favor, you should run some. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinions, bro. And you are as well. But as a coach, that's what I teach and that's what I believe in. But I appreciate your thoughts. With that being said, I'm going to start wrapping things up here, folks. Claudia Cardoso, I just don't want to go back with my ex, says Claudia. Claudia, welcome to the show. We're about to wrap things up. If you missed the show, check out the replay. Lots of great information. And we should definitely connect at some point soon. Well, if you don't want to go back with your ex, then that's on you. Like, look, sometimes people break up for, good reasons, right? Okay? Or sometimes, if a woman breaks up with a man or a man breaks up with a woman, they realize they made a mistake. Sometimes a second chance is worth it. Sometimes it's not. It's up to you if you want to take that chance. But if you do take that chance, the person that broke up with the other person is the one that has to reinitiate it. Because if they're the ones that broke up with you, they're the only ones that can bring it back. Meaning that the person that changed the terms of your relationship from romantic to friendship is the only one that can change it back from friendship to romantic. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Never chase after being dumped. One more time. Never chase after being dumped. Thank you for your comments, Claudia. Thank you, Johnny, for your comments earlier on the Facebook side of things. On YouTube, thank you to Baron Guitar for being here. Thank you to Moonchild for being here. Lewis Fuller, thank you for being here. Adelaide's Advice Addict, thank you for popping on by. I think I did say Lewis Fuller. If not, thanks again, Lewis. And thank you for Mutt Nuts World, or to Mutt Nuts World for being here earlier. Thank you to Furious Reactor Gaming for being here, and anyone else that I missed. Oh, American Dream 1.5, thank you for being here as well. I'll be back tomorrow, more than likely, with a political stream, and I may even try to put together a panel. So if you're on my moderator crew or you know me and you're interested in doing a panel, either message me on Hangouts if you're connected with me on Hangouts or Facebook Messenger, or email me at coacheli@coacheli.com, and we'll make something happen. With that being said, have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.